start again. It's a rich
What's going on, everybody? It's the Bulls Show, aka Aidan, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a Chicago Bulls injury update for you guys ahead of our last game before the All-Star break against the Sacramento Kings. We've got a long way to go in terms of this whole injury nonsense to be put behind us. Maybe it will never be put behind us, but there's been new injuries that have occurred for the Chicago Bulls, and obviously some of them we're still waiting to see the outcome of. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show. Turn notifications on and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the injury updates for the Chicago Bulls. And do you think if these guys are out for this team, will we have a good chance or a bad chance to beat that Sacramento Kings side as we look to end the All-Star break, or the beginning of this season pretty much from the All-Star break very, very strong? First, I want to talk about Javonte Green, ladies and gentlemen. Now, he is listed as questionable for the game against the Sacramento Kings. If you don't know the NBA terms of what questionable means, it's basically a 50-50 chance he will play against the Sacramento Kings. Many of you guys might be saying, okay, well, obviously his injury did not heal up as much as we would like, so they're taking a precaution, taking a little bit of a chance, and maybe he'll be ready to play against Sacramento, or maybe he'll sit this one out and just get all the rest he can get, ladies and gentlemen. However, it's not the same injury that he's been going through. Unfortunately for Javonte Green, he's experienced a new injury, and I believe it's a left ankle sprain for Javonte Green. So, obviously this is something, depending on the sprain itself, could determine how bad it is. But if he's listed as questionable against the Sacramento Kings, my guess personally is that it's not as bad as people want to perceive, or it's not as bad as anticipated. So, these are all positives for Javonte Green. An ankle sprain could be several weeks if it's as bad as we can see it. We've obviously seen ankle sprain injuries to Alex Caruso, I believe, before already. So it's definitely something that we can take seriously depending on how strong it is. But overall, if he's listed as questionable, my guess is even if he doesn't play, he will be back by that Atlanta Hawks game after our All-Star break. And that is something that I'm definitely fine with. If we have to sit this one out for Javonte Green, then I would lead on the side of caution and make sure he can get the proper, I guess, health care, whatever it is that Javonte Green needs to head into the next game against Atlanta. Now I want to talk about Zach LaVine, ladies and gentlemen. Zach LaVine actually posted this on his Twitter, ladies and gentlemen, and it's something that has made the Twitter words for Zach LaVine go absolutely berserk. Many people want to know what's the meaning behind what he tweeted, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, Snoop Dogg putting his hands like this, that's definitely something that has subliminal messages, hidden messages in there. Now, many people can see it down to two things, ladies and gentlemen. The first one, obviously, being that Zach LaVine has seen the health specialist or the knee specialist, whatever it is. It's good news, but the Bulls just haven't announced yet what that news is, and Zach LaVine hasn't announced what that news is, and that's obviously the one that we want to believe. The positivity behind that would be fantastic, and that means he's ready to play, ladies and gentlemen. It means that there's nothing seriously wrong with him. It all means the best if that's the case, and he's seen the knee specialist and everything's come out fine, and all he needs is maybe a couple of weeks break, and that's definitely something we can give to him after this All-Star break. Or this is a sign of hope for Zach LaVine, that he's hoping things are okay, and it's up in God's hands to try and determine what the outcome will be for Zach LaVine. It could be him waiting and trying and hoping that everything's going to be okay, but it's still an unknown situation. I find it hard to believe that no other credible sources besides Zach LaVine, obviously, has really posted anything about Zach LaVine's injury update, at least from my knowledge personally. So that's what I think is actually happening. I think Zach LaVine doesn't know himself, so I think he posted that GIF or whatever it was, just saying that he's hopeful, just like everybody else, that there's nothing seriously wrong with Zach LaVine. But obviously he knows, and no one else does, ladies and gentlemen. So it's definitely something to keep your eyes out on, and I'm very intrigued to see what's going to end up being the case for Zach LaVine. Is he fully healthy, ready to go by the All-Star break, or is there something a little bit more serious than I think many of us actually expected to be serious, but is this more serious than we first thought? And is it more than just not participating in the All-Star games? We also have a little bit of official news for the Chicago Bulls as well, as some players have been called up and other players have been sent down to the G League. It's a very interesting time, ladies and gentlemen, to be a Chicago Bulls fan, but we're going to start off with the person that was sent down to the G League. His name is Tyler Cook. Now, at the end of the day, Tyler Cook has had a very up and down stretch with the Chicago Bulls at this point in time. He's had some very good games against the Milwaukee Bucks really stands out to me, as he had full concentration. He was able to slow down Giannis as much as possible in terms of shooting efficiency, and all the way through, he was very much a big part in us being so close in the game like that against the Milwaukee Bucks. But then obviously there have been a lot of other games where he's simply not stepped up to the plate as much as we would like, and there have been a few issues in terms of Tyler Cook, and I guess his active contribution to the game in many ways. He's not making as big of an impact as we first expected with Tyler Cook, and obviously that's been a very consistent theme. And again, he's been in a situation where he's been swapping out minutes with Tony Bradley at certain times. So sending him down to the G League, at the end of the day, that's what a two-way contract is for, ladies and gentlemen. When he's not playing well, he gets sent down to the G League, and if he plays well in the G League, all of a sudden, there's another opportunity for him to get called up for the Chicago Bulls. But this has to be a lesson for a guy like Tyler Cook. This is a lesson to learn for Tyler Cook, ladies and gentlemen. He was in the roster for a long time with this team, and now the message is that it's been dropped, and that, I guess, mediocrity in this team and not being able to be trusted in terms of being a backup center or power forward, whatever position he was playing for the Chicago Bulls. It's a lesson learned that we have to see much more from that position. So that's clearly a direction that we're going down. And Tyler Cook, he's on a two-way contract. He's supposed to be in the G League anyway as well. It's still not me saying I give up on the player or I think that he's not good enough to play for this team. It just means that there's more development that needs to be put into him, and maybe in the starting line, maybe in the Chicago Bulls team is not where it should be for him. Maybe the G League is where he needs to be to help get that momentum and confidence back, but also to get some consistency in his playing time back. So let's see what will happen again with Tyler Cook in the G League. Hopefully he has a great G League period. And then the player that got recalled, ladies and gentlemen, I think many of you guys might be very happy about this, but Marko, ladies and gentlemen, has been recalled to the main team for the Chicago Bulls, and he could be expected to play against the Sacramento Kings in the next game. Now, I'm not going to say this as a 100% fact that it's going to happen, because at the end of the day, I've seen Marko get called up before to get little to no game time for the Chicago Bulls. So by no means am I saying this is his big break, but I would love to see Marko get an opportunity on this Chicago Bulls team. At the end of the day, we've seen some of these guys off of this bench have worse performances than what Marko's been doing in the G League. And Marko has been absolutely playing out of his mind in that G League. So if he can do half of what he does in the G League with the Chicago Bulls team, even if it's a little bit less than half, if he can get a really good amount of rebounds, if he can provide an offensive capability, and he can get some easy opportunities in the paint, some dunks, even a mid-range here or two, he's going to be very much more valuable to us than what we first see from him now. And the opportunity has to come eventually. I'm not sure if this is going to be his big break. I'd like to think it would be his big break, but all in all, I can't really be the one to promise that for you guys. We're just going to have to wait and see on the night against the Sacramento Kings. If the Bulls really want to experiment with Marko, this might be a good chance to do it. If he impresses, then of course, he could potentially be seen as a rotational guy now for the Chicago Bulls. But if he does not impress, if he fails to impress, or if he doesn't even get the opportunity, then of course the G League could definitely be waiting for him once again. But I think this is a fair opportunity. He's been playing really, really great in the G League. He's had some impressively strong games, and at the end of the day, there has to be opportunities for everybody on this team. If you work hard enough and you play well enough, you deserve minutes. This is not a situation where we're developing guys and other guys that are older doesn't get minutes. It's not like that at all. Marko has been playing well, and I think he deserves enough time. He deserves the minutes to show what he could do for a long period of time. So we'll wait and see what will happen with that as well. Thank you for watching nonetheless. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the game reaction against the Sacramento Kings. Have a wonderful and safe day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.